What's up, QAA listeners?
The fun games have begun.
I found a way to connect to the internet. I'm sorry, boy. Welcome, listener, to Premium Chapter 169 of the QAnon Anonymous podcast, the Watch the Water episode. As always, we are your hosts, Jake Rockatansky,
Annie Kelly,
And Julian Fields.
Hello and welcome, my beloved pure-hearted listeners. It's your UK correspondent, Annie Kelly, speaking. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about a new anti-vaccine documentary that has taken the conspiracy world by storm, causing furious debate among anti-vaxxers, QAnon influencers, and even the two people responsible for creating the documentary itself. This will be an episode that is not afraid to ask the tough questions, such as, is COVID-19 actually synthetic snake venom deliberately introduced into our water supply? The answer is no.
Come on, Annie. You don't know how to structure an episode. That's supposed to come right at the end.
Spoilers, guys. No, that's not happening.
I was
Can't
always
do that.
taught that we were supposed to suspend your disbelief, see what's there, and then at the end, bring in your analytical brain. So
Yeah,
this is
and
I'm already disappointed.
And listen to Jake. I mean, he's clearly has been sucking on the water straight from the tap. He's got snake venom in his lungs. He's turning into a crate snake.
Yeah, I should have been using these COVID tests on myself to make sure that I'm no longer testing positive, but in fact, I've just been running them under the tap water.
Sorry, Annie. Go back to your very sensible upfront debunking.
All right, going back to my tough questions. But are the mRNA vaccines and therapeutic drugs used for the treatment of COVID also snake venom to finish off any patients whose God-given immune system fought off the initial poisoning? The answer to that is also no. But is Donald Trump a secret Jesuit who supports vaccines because he is part of this nefarious scheme to decimate the global population and institute a Catholic New World Order?
Yes.
Yeah, surprisingly to that one, the answer is yes.
Oh, good. Thank God. 1 out of 3, folks. This won't be a total
thank
waste.
God. I couldn't take another no.
Yeah.
But before I get into that, an update on myself and Julian's ancient European blood feud.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Peace talks broke down last week when, for the first time since the 19th century, a council of elders assembled to try and resolve the long-running dispute between our two tribes. So far, we have limited intelligence on what went on, but I am told by reliable sources that a fistfight broke out when my cousin, the right-wing American news anchor Greg Kelly, heard some of Julian's relatives speaking French and assumed they were trying to place a witch's curse on him. The situation is still unfolding, but it seems that Julian and I, along with any of our descendants, will be cursed to remain mortal enemies for centuries more.
Yeah, the Kellys will pay eventually. I'm sorry that the talks broke down. I know my nonna is, I'm surprised she would throw a punch, but you know what? That's cool.
Yeah, I heard she really held her own, actually.
I can't wait for the documentary series to release on HBO. Just documenting 10 years, one filmmaker followed two families for over a decade. Here is their story. And it's just 45 minutes of fist fighting.
But back to the anti-vax documentary this episode is all about. Released on the 11th of April this year, the film is titled Watch the Water, which the real Q heads in our audience will recognise as being a phrase borrowed from a Q drop in 2018. This cryptic phrase has previously been interpreted by QAnon followers as having predicted the Suez Canal blockage by the unfortunate ship Ever Given back in 2021. But the documentary comes up with a different thesis. That thesis is, roughly, that COVID-19 is not a respiratory virus at all, but a result of global water supplies being poisoned with snake venom in order to weaken humanity both physically and spiritually, and even possibly turn us all into demonic human-snake hybrids. Here's how the film describes itself.
The pandemic continues, but its origins are still a nefarious mystery. How did the world get sick? How did COVID really spread? And did the Satanic elite tell the world about this bioweapon ahead of time? Dr. Brian Ardis, www.ardisantidote.com, has unveiled a shocking connection between this pandemic and the eternal battle of good and evil which began in the Garden of Eden. In this stupid...
Oh my God, just reading his name makes me laugh because he's such a sweaty golem of a mess.
Yes.
In this Stu Peters Network exclusive, director Stu Peters, award-winning filmmaker Nicholas Stumphauser, and executive producer Lauren Witzke bring to light a truth Satan himself has fought to suppress.
This finally answers the question, what would happen if the movie trailer guy caught COVID?
I'll tell you what happened. The voice is easier to do.
I was going to say, yeah, it sounded really convincing.
Yeah, less effort for sure, because some of the gravel is now baked in.
In a world where I can't taste or smell anything.
No, I did not. I haven't lost taste or smell. I am.
In a world
I'm a
where my penis has grown smaller for some reason. In a world where I am weaker and uglier than I've ever been.
In a world where seeing the Vicks Vapor Rub symbol on the box of tissue papers was a sign of relief.
I like that Annie recently had COVID, demanded we respect her, but now she is absolutely having giggles at the expense of poor Jake. While I call him weak and ugly. I mean, ugly stuff. Ugly stuff.
I know, it's just so nice to see someone who's not me suffering with it.
Ironically, I'm also, during this recording, I'm wearing the sweatshirt of the band that I bought at the concert where I probably got COVID.
That is amazing. Yeah. You want to name them? Or?
No. You know what? I saw 2 concerts last week, so it could be either.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just dishing out snake venom at both of them. Amazing.
I didn't wear a mask at the first one because the mask mandate had lifted. And, there was plenty of room in the back to stand. We thought we were going to be just fine. And I did wear a mask at the second one because it was a little bit more crowded. So just let this be a lesson to you. If you go to a concert or you're going to a big public thing where there are a lot of sweaty people singing, COVID is still a real thing. You can still catch it. So
if you go watch a band with the name ending in each "unny,"
yeah,
you will catch Ovid.
Yeah.
Don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I saw Beach Bunny and I saw Pup, and you know what?
Yeah.
Worth it. If I don't die, and
even if I did, if I slipped away in the middle of the night, those concerts were so fucking good. They were so fucking good, especially Pup. So fucking good that like as I left my body and I was floating up and I saw myself laying in bed, coughing and sputtering, and I was like, well, here I go. And I could see my all my grandparents and a couple of cats, right there waiting. I would be like, you know what? Worth it. Dying a happy man.
This is what happens when you're the generation that doesn't own homes.
Yeah, I've accomplished everything that I think I can.
Time to ascend.
It's really early in the episode for us to come out as pro-COVID, guys.
Yeah, before we get into it. Yeah, there was moments while I was watching this documentary where I was like, I was trying to allow myself to get pilled, but it's so stupid. I mean, it is essentially what the documentary is not a documentary at all. It is a videotape of one guy trying to pill another guy, and he's doing it just as you would at a party. He's going, and you know what the organization is named, right? Like, he's so fucking smug, this guy. And what is he? He's a chiropractor? He's not even a real doctor.
A retired chiropractor.
He's retired chiropractor.
Can't even continue quacking.
Essentially, the movie is like, here's what I Googled, and here's what... It literally is just a video of, like, a guy baking and then trying to pill his friend who it's totally working on. Because the guy's, Stu Peters is fucking sweating. He's jiggling around his seat. He's rubbing his face like, oh my God, this is insane.
You have been listening to a sample of a premium episode of QAnon Anonymous.
We don't run any advertising on the show, and we'd like to keep it that way.
For $5 a month, you'll get access to this episode, a new one each week, and our entire library of premium episodes.
So head on over to patreon.com/QAnon Anonymous and subscribe.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I love you.
Jake loves you.